लाल की अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। व्याधस्याचरणं ध्रुवस्य च वयो विद्या गजेन्द्रस्य का कुब्जाया किमुनाम रूपमधिकम् किं तत्सुदाम्नो धनम्। गोपालाङ्गणकर्दमे विहरसे विप्राध्वरे लज्जसे ब्रूषे गोसुतहुं कृतैः स्तुतिपदैर्मौनं विधत्से सताम्। दास्यं गोकुलकामिनीषु कुरुषे स्वाम्यं न दत्तात्मसु जाने कृष्ण त्वदीयपादयुगलम् प्रेमैकलभ्यम् परम्। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्वंह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Dear devotees, Radhe Radhe, this week we're going to be singing some Leelas of Radha Krishna according to the pads and songs written by Jagadguru Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj. Let us begin this evening's kirtan by singing the first line, and then I'll cover some philosophical topics. Each day we'll be building upon the topics of why do we listen to Leelas? How do we benefit from listening to or meditating upon Leelas? How is this a part of our daily practice of devotion? And what is the significance of these playful, loving pastimes of Radha Krishna? They are not mere doings according to what we would see physically if we were to see Radha Krishna performing these Leelas. We would superficially not be able to grasp the significance of them. So we also have to think about the divine significance of these Leelas, what makes them so special and so powerful. So each day we'll be covering these topics in a little bit more depth, as well as singing the Leelas and understanding each line of the Leela so that we can meditate upon it. So let us begin this evening's Leela. The words for the songs we'll be singing, the Pad Kirtans, they will be projected on the screen here so you can all follow along. We need more backup singers. Ek hi to baitha hai. और कौन गाएगा? हाँ भैया आ जाइए. Sunny इनको दे दो प्रेम रस मदिरा. So we'll be singing from Prem Ras Madira. This is a collection of 108 Pad Kirtans by Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj, in which there are many hundreds of these Leela type of songs. This is from Shri Krishna Bal Leela Madhuri, and it is number 65 in the Bal Leela Madhuri. Sarang double. Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang 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 Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang.
This is a Sakhya Bhav Leela. Shri Krishna with his Gwalbal friends, his Sakhas. Shri Krishna had a routine every day. Once he reached a certain age, the age of 5, he was allowed to start going out and grazing. First the calves, and later when they got bigger, then the full-grown cows. Initially, when Shri Krishna was so young and Balaram was also not that old, then they would just take out the small cows, the calves, bachade, and they would take them out fairly close by. They wouldn't range too far. And then as they got older, they became strong enough to handle the big cows. And they would take them out ranging far and wide, looking for nice green grass. And of course, according to Vedas, the practice of grazing the cows is a very serious matter, meaning it's a very holy matter. It's a very sacred thing to care for the cows, to take them out, to graze them. And there are certain rules that have to be followed. One of those rules is that grazing the cows must be done barefoot. So imagine walking far and wide, taking the cows miles and miles so that they can graze on nice green grass and find water to drink. And Shri Krishna, Balaram, and Gwalbals are doing this every day barefoot, out of respect for the cows. Such is the greatness of the cow in Vedas and given such respect as well by Shri Krishna. Gopal, Shri Krishna's, one of his names means the caretaker of the cows. So it was Shri Krishna's routine that every day he would wake up once he was 5 years old and he was allowed to go out grazing the cows. He would wake up early in the morning and all the Gwalbals in that whole community, they would all wake up early. Their mothers would prepare something for them to eat because they were going to be out the whole day. So they would have breakfast at home, maybe some paratha with makhan, nice heavy breakfast to get them going and last them until the afternoon when they have their lunch. Their mothers would all pack some lunch for them, and each of the boys would wrap it up in a cloth and take it with them and take their cows. Each of the boys had their family's cows. They would all come out, and depending where they were going or who lived farthest, they would, each one would join, just like when I was a boy, we used to walk to school, and I lived farthest, so I would leave my house first, then I'd go to the neighbor's house, those kids would come out, then we'd walk a few houses further, the next kids would come out, and we'd have a whole group walking to school. Just like that, Shri Krishna would be met by his friends who one by one came out of their homes, collected, brought their cows, and then Shri Krishna and Balaram would come out with their cows, and the whole community of boys with all their families' cows would go out for the day grazing the cows. Jagadguru Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj has written several kirtans, pads about this, as well as many dohas in his Radha Govind Geet, describing these Bal Leelas of Shri Krishna, boyhood Leelas, where he's grazing the cows and the calves with his friends. So Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj gives us some insight into the logistics of it. That once they met and they went out, Shri Maharaji tells us that actually there wasn't that much work to be done, because all the boys would get together, their cows would be together, and it just takes a few boys to manage that whole herd of cows. All of them together, even though it's a lot of cows, a few boys with their cow herding sticks, they can manage the whole herd. So what do the rest of the boys do? They're going to play. What else? So here in the first line, Gwala Sangha Go Charat Gopal, our Gopal, young Shri Krishna, he's grazing the cows with his friends, the Gwalbals. So what do? Well, whatever few boys, and it was done in a rotation, so whatever few boys are assigned today to manage the whole herd, the rest of the boys, hundreds of boys, would play with Krishna, play boyhood games, childhood games. Ko gavat, ko venu bajavat, ko nachat detal. So here Shri Maharaji is describing in this pad some of their activities, that while they were out there during the day, it's a beautiful countryside, nice green rolling hills, like maybe near Govardhan Hill, and maybe a tree providing shade. So someone is singing Ko Gavat, Ko Venu Bajavat. Not only Shri Krishna used to play on the flute, Gwalbals also had flutes. It's a typical countryside thing to do, find a piece of bamboo. It's hollow, so all the boys knew how to drill holes in it and make a flute. So they would make their flutes and play some fun songs on the flute. So someone is singing, and when Gwalbals get together, don't think like they're singing some classical sangeet. No, they're singing some folk songs, some fun songs the boys know. So somebody's playing a tune on the flute, somebody's singing some fun boyhood song, and ko nachat detal, some boys are clapping and some boys are dancing, maybe Krishna's dancing. So it's kind of a rowdy scene, a fun rowdy scene over there with some dancing and clapping and playing on the flute and singing. So you can imagine the atmosphere, a very joyous, playful atmosphere as the cows are grazing nearby. A few boys are looking after them, and the rest of the boys are joyously playing with Krishna in this way. Sometimes they play like this by singing and dancing. Sometimes they play by wrestling or having some competitions. Khel at the khel. They have some games, have some competitions. Many of the games we played growing up, or you would have played growing up. Some ball games, gulli danda, some probably variation of cricket, who knows. So Krishna is so creative. They would have been making up all kinds of fun games. Just give them a ball and a stick and see what happens, or playing hide and seek, or playing tag, or wrestling, or having races. So, khelat khel, haravat harat. Sometimes Krishna would win, he would defeat his friends in the game or in the competition. Or harat, sometimes Krishna would lose. His friends would defeat him in the game. So rijhat, sometimes his friends would be so happy having won the game. Kijhat, sometimes they would, like any boy who loses the game, he feels like, oh, I'm going to get the next one. So in this way, Krishna is always playing and rejoicing his friends. Sometimes he wins the game, sometimes they win the game. And in this way, Krishna and the Gwalwals are rejoicing and just experiencing the bliss. Both Krishna and the Gwalwals are giving each other bliss and experiencing the bliss of this divine Leela. So let us sing these couple of lines and then we'll see what's happening further ahead in this Leela. Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang Charat Gopal Gwal Sang Charat Gopal Gwal Sang
Ko gavat ko venu bajavat
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 nachat Daital Gwal Sang
nachat Daital Gwal Sang
nachat Daital Gwal Sang
nachat Daital Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal
Haravat Harat
Khilat Khil Haravat Harat
Khilat Khil Haravat हारत
खेलत खेल हरावत हारत
खेलत खेल हरावत हारत
खेलत खेल हरावत हारत
झत खीझत ग्वाल ग्वाल संग
जत खीजत ग्वाल ग्वाल संग
झत खीझत ग्वाल ग्वाल संग
जत खीजत ग्वाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, he describes the benefit of listening to and meditating upon his Leelas. Yatha yathatma parimrijyate sau mat punyagatha shravanabhidhanai tatha tatha pashyati vastu sukshmam chakshuryathaivanjana samprayuktam. This is a very deep philosophy, so we'll touch on it tonight and refer back to it each of the coming nights to understand it in more depth. Why do we listen to the Leelas of Radha Krishna or Sitaram, any Leela? What is the benefit? It's purifying. Whatever we lovingly engross our mind in, we actually take on the qualities of that thing. God is supremely purifying. Material things have their own type of quality. Material means Maic. Maic things are inherently imperfect. So all Maic things are some type of combination of purity and impurity. Sattvic, Rajas, Tamas qualities are inherent in every material thing. This is why we say that as compared to God, material things are impure. God is absolute purity, and anyone or anything that touches God also becomes pure. And material things are not perfectly pure. We sometimes say, oh, this is sattvic. It means it's more towards the pure side, but it still has impurity as well. No material thing can be perfectly pure. Therefore, whatever we attach our mind to in this world inherently has impurities. Therefore, we can't purify our mind completely by becoming attached to material things. The more attached we become to material things, the more impurities we take on in our mind. However, by attaching that same mind to God, we purify it. We purify our mind. We receive divine qualities, perfect qualities. Start gradually flowing into our mind and permeating our mind. It's a very slow process. Now, when we say God, He actually represents Himself in 6 forms in this world for our remembrance. Naam, Roop, Leela, Guna, Dham, Jan. So, Radha Krishna, God, their names are one with them. So by faithfully chanting their names, thinking that this is Radha Krishna, we purify our mind because we faithfully joined our mind with Krishna in the form of his name. Naam or Roop. Roop is his form. By meditating upon his form with the feeling that this is real divine Krishna that I'm imagining in my mind, we purify our mind. How? Because he pervades even our imagined form of him. He's all-pervasive. He's omnipresent. Therefore, based upon our intent, he gives us the divine result of our material imagination. Such is his grace, that even our material effort is rewarded with a divine result. So by meditating upon his form, which means to, in the mind, create Krishna's form to the best we can, we create a connection with him that purifies our mind. Naam, Roop, third thing, Leela. In his Leela, if we're going to think of any Leela, then we're thinking of his form as well, of course, but in a more dynamic way. We're thinking of something that happened when he was here on earth, something that's been described in maybe a scripture like the Bhagavatam or the Ramayana, or described by any great saint like Surdas Ji or Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj. So we know about these happenings in the life of Radha Krishna. And simply by hearing them and meditating upon it. Meditating means just think about it in your mind. Like you might think about something that happened today. Oh, this person said this to me. Oh, I should have said that. And you're reviewing the whole conversation in your mind, reliving it again and again. That's meditation. If we do the very same thing with the beautiful, simple, playful, loving Leelas of Radha Krishna, we're actually joining our mind, we're bringing them into our mind through their Leelas. Therefore, remembrance of Smarana, of the Leelas of Radha Krishna, is also the means of purifying our mind. So we have Naam, Roop, Leela, Guna. Guna means their qualities or their personality, which is also revealed through their Leelas. You could just meditate on Krishna's one quality, like, oh, he's so naughty. Okay, keep thinking about Krishna's naughtiness, your mind is getting purified. Or he's so kind. Look, he's playing with these gwal bals. He himself is Supreme God, but he's playing with these souls who are in the form, souls like you and I, who have become his friends, and he's playing with them. Supreme God, he's so kind. He leaves behind his godly almightiness, and he just loves these souls as his very own friends. So we can meditate on any guna, any quality of Shri Krishna. His dham is also abhinna from him. It is one with him, or you can say his own expansion of his own self is in the form of his divine abode. Where is the Leela happening? In his divine abode. Although the earth itself was material, but Shri Krishna descended his divine abode on this earth when he came. So these Leelas are happening in the divine abode, divine Vrindavan, here on this earth. So if you're thinking about the scene, oh, Krishna is sitting and there's Govardhan Hill, such beautiful green grass and trees growing over here and Kalindi rivers flowing here. You're thinking of the dham, you're also joining your mind with Shri Krishna through the dham. And finally, the sixth thing, Jan. Shri Krishna's divine associates are also not separate from him. These Gwalbals are divine personalities who are one with Shri Krishna. Therefore, by thinking of the Gwalbals, you're also purifying your mind. We'll be looking more in detail at this subject of practicing devotion, practicing bhakti, and how simple the smaran of the Leelas makes it. Because everybody loves a story. Kids say to their mothers, oh, can you tell me a story? Then I'll fall asleep. At bedtime, all kids want to hear a story. We also don't grow out of that. That's why at bedtime, many people want to put the TV on. Why? They want to hear a story. Or they read a book to fall asleep, read some novel, some story, just to relax at night. Everybody loves a story. Why do you watch movies? You want the story. So these are real stories that happen. And by thinking of those, which are so attractive to our mind anyway, it's so easy to get the mind attracted, we're getting the benefit of joining our mind with God through his Leelas, and thereby purifying our mind, which is actually the whole goal of devotion. We'll get into this in more detail throughout this week. So in this Leela, this divine Leela of Shri Krishna with his divine saints, the Gwalbals, they're in this beautiful scene, they're grazing the cows, they're playing, and now they've been out for a good part of the day. The heavy breakfast they had has now worn off, and it's time for their afternoon meal. So, Shat Ras Vyanjan Karat Bialu, their mothers have packed something different for each of the boys. It's not like they're each carrying a whole buffet with them, but combined it makes for a whole buffet, because you have hundreds of Gwalbals with Shri Krishna, and if one brought samosa, and one brought dahi vada, and one brought rasmalai, so all combined you have a whole buffet every day. So what they do is they all sit together. Rajat Bich Nandalal, Shri Krishna in the middle, and then concentric rings of Gwalbals around him, and all are now opening their little bundle of food that they brought from home. And there's quite an excitement, because you're wondering, what has your friend brought? Because it's not that you open your bundle and you eat your food. No, everybody opens their bundle and everybody's eating everybody's food, and especially if something is very tasty, they want to feed it to Krishna, and Krishna is looking who's brought what and stealing some food from someone over here. So today, this scene is something special. So they're sitting and they're getting ready to eat. Krishna is in the middle, and Mansukh, one of Shri Krishna's main friends, main sakhas, he decides to play a trick on Shri Krishna. So he says, Bhog lagaye khau sab. We should, just like, on Sundays here, we cook the food and we offer to Radha Krishna. I mean, we do it every day, several times a day, but we do it with the curtain open on Sunday so everyone can see. हम लोग भोग लगाते हैं, भगवान के लिए भोग लगाते हैं. So here Mansukh is saying we should offer our food to God before we eat. So you might be thinking, well, God is right there sitting in the middle. Why not offer to Krishna? Because none of them is thinking of Krishna as God. This is a secret of these Leelas. None of these Leelas would happen if anybody is thinking of Krishna as God. They would put him up on some high place and sing his stutis and do his arti, and from a distance they would respect him. He's God. Would they be playing games with him? Would they be wrestling with him, telling him jokes? If they had that conscious awareness that he's God, the whole universe comes from his one pore of his body, with his one thought he annihilates the entire universe? No, they'd be in awe, just like Arjuna on the battlefield. Disho na jane na labhe cha sharma prasida devesh jagannivas. Gita, Shri Krishna showed Arjuna that vision of his amazing, unlimited almightiness, that form. And Arjuna was disoriented. He said, please resume your form as my friend. This vision of your supreme godly form is unnerving me. I have no idea what's my left, what's my right, what's up and down. I'm completely disoriented. It is overwhelming, even for Arjuna. So what Leela would happen with Krishna in that form? Therefore, he conceals his almightiness by expressing his lovingness. His power of divine love is his supreme power, even more supreme than his almightiness, in fact, because his almightiness merges into his lovingness. Therefore, to perform these Leelas with the Gwalbals, the almightiness is completely concealed to the point that Shri Krishna himself forgets he's God. Otherwise, he would not be enjoying this interaction with the Gwalbals. If he's thinking, oh, I'm God, but yes, I have to play some game with these souls, some silly game. What fun is that? Neither would Gwalbals want to play with Krishna, nor would Krishna want to play with Gwalbals. He forgets he's God. In fact, he is so happy to play with his friends, more happy than they are to play with him. Such is Krishna's simple-heartedness, kindness. He's not pretending or acting. He's forgotten about being God. He doesn't even want to remember being God. He is God, it's fine, but with the Gwalbals, he is just sharing his prem, his divine love, and also receiving the same prem given back to him from them. This is also a topic we have to understand in more detail throughout this week. So Brahma himself, witnessing this scene of Krishna dining with the Gwalbals, one time became confused that, is Krishna really God? How is he behaving in such a simple way like village boys, sitting and eating together so informally? If he's God, shouldn't they be offering their food to him and saying Vedic mantras? But this isn't what he witnessed. He witnessed this chaotic scene of Krishna and Gwalbals stealing food from each other and offering food to each other and enjoying and playing. But then with Krishna's grace, Brahma realized that these Gwalbals are great divine personalities. They are God's best friends. Imagine. And he said, Aho bhagyam Nanda Gopavrajau kasam Yan mitram paramanandam Purnam Brahma Sanatanam. Bhagavatam. He exclaimed that, how could I express the greatness of these Gwalbals who are the eternal best friends of Supreme God? And they came on this earth, they just like Krishna took avatar, these Gwalbals also took avatar and came on this earth to reveal these Leelas here on our earth. So how could I express their greatness and their good fortune? So here, Gwalbals are not consciously, they are divine saints, so they know God, they know Krishna is God, but their love for Krishna and Krishna's love for them has completely submerged that knowledge of Krishna's godliness. Therefore, they're just playing with him as equals. So they decided to play a trick. Let us offer our food to God before we dine. So Krishna also closed his eyes. He's not thinking of himself as God. So okay, let's offer the food to God. And as Krishna closed his eyes, then all the Gwalbals who were sitting close with Mansuk's direction, they all quickly stole the food from in front of Krishna. Whatever food he had brought in his little packet, because Krishna was younger than most of the Gwalbals, so he was easily tricked. He closed his eyes first and they all snatched his food from in front of him. So, imi kahi chali mansukha chal. So Mansukh thought of this trick to do on Krishna. Hari drig mundat. Soon as Hari, Krishna, closed his eyes, khai gaye sab. They not only snatched his food, they quickly gulped it down. So all his food was eaten. Unnakara ashana rasal. And it was so tasty. Of course, another's food is always more tasty than your food. Your kids probably like eating the food that you have on your plate or you prepared for yourself. They think that tastes better than the food they have for themselves. I remember something as simple as a piece of toast with butter on it. If I put the butter or my mom put the butter, there was a big difference in taste. So, of course, eating Krishna's food is much more enjoyable than eating your own food, and Gwalbals quickly snatched his food and gulped it down before he opened his eyes. So let us see what was Krishna's reaction to this. Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Shat ras vyanjana karat vyalu.
Shat ras vyanjana karat vyalu.
Shat ras vyanjana karat vyalu.
Sat ras vyanjana karat vyalu.
Rajat vich Nandlal Gwal Sang.
Rajat vich Nandlal Gwal संग
राजत बीच नंदलाल ग्वाल संग
राजत बीच नंदलाल ग्वाल संग
भोग लगाय खाऊ सब कही
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 चली मन सुखा चाल ग्वाल संग
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 गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
हरि दृगमुदत खाई गए सब
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 पून कर अशन रसाल ग्वाल संग
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 गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत Gopal Gwal Sangha.
So Gwalbal snatched Shri Krishna's food, scoffed it down, and then they were giggling. And all this time Krishna dutifully had his eyes closed, thinking that we're offering the food to God. Little did he know they were stealing God's food. So he heard then, Hasani Sakhani. He heard his sakhas giggling and laughing, and he still had his eyes closed. So he thought, what's going on? And he opened his eyes, Ashana Nija Lakhi. He opened his eyes, his food was gone. Bhajyo Rudat Tatkal. He immediately started crying and ran out of there. So, in our neighborhood as well, we had many kids. And normally, whoever was the youngest one, sometimes we would make him cry. Just, it's the way things go. So it was no different with Krishna and his friends. Krishna was the youngest. So sometimes they would tease him, and the teasing would go a little too far, and little Kanha would start crying. But there's also ras in that. Just like when you see a small child, it's in good fun, not in a mean way, but sometimes if the child is playing and doesn't get his way and then starts crying, the grown-ups also find some loving beauty in that crying of the child also. Not in a mean way, but just they know it's all in fun, and the child is so innocent, they don't know that there's nothing wrong and they're just crying for some reason. So that crying of the child is also slightly sweet in its own way. So imagine Krishna's face. As a little boy, if he's crying, what would be the sweetness of that crying Leela of Shri Krishna? So he was upset that my friends tricked me and stole my food. So he just quickly ran out of the circle of friends crying. So Shri Krishna, performing this Leela, has given us also a new way of doing Rup Dhyan. A new way of meditating on him. Imagine, we can meditate on Krishna, small Krishna, crying. Yeah, you could purify your heart by meditating on Krishna's face when he's crying. How sweet, how cute he looks. And you could be the one to comfort him as well. Oh yes, I know those Gwalbals are very bad. They tease you all the time. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. So you can meditate on Krishna running to you when he's upset. Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj, who is revealing this divine Leela, says in the final line, Imi Kripalu tehi gwala ruvavat. He's giving us the overall perspective to think of the significance of this Leela. Look at these Gwalbals. Whom are they making cry? Kisko rula rahe hain? Amit kaal jehi gal. In this universe, there are infinite planetary systems we call Brahmand. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam athavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanaatha. Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Sanghita. Brahma is saying that Govinda, Gopal, he is the absolute supreme. His form as Mahavishnu, in which he's revealing a tiny fraction of his overall self. Just that tiny fraction of himself, who is none other than Mahavishnu, is the creator and destroyer of infinite planetary systems, infinite galaxies in this endless universe. With a mere thought, he manifests it, and with a mere thought, he dissolves the entire creation. So, Jehi Amit Kal Jehi Gal, the Lord of Death, who manages the affairs of the souls and is the most feared because he comes at the time of death and takes a soul. So powerful. Infinite such Kal are just entering into Krishna's mouth and dissolving into nothing every second. That is Krishna's power. The god of death trembles in front of Shri Krishna. Infinite gods of death tremble in front of Shri Krishna, and he is being made to cry by these Gwalbals who are taking advantage of his innocence, that he's closing his eyes and they're snatching his food and eating it. Imagine Supreme God who knows every thought of every living being. He knows every particle of dust floating everywhere in this universe, every leaf trembling. And he got tricked by the Gwalbals? Yes, there's ras in such a Leela. If he's sitting there as all-knowing Shri Krishna, oh, you're trying to trick me? No, I caught you. What's the fun in that? I'm Supreme God, you dare try to trick me? There's no fun, there's no ras, there's no Leela. So because of his supreme divine love power, he loses consciousness of his godly identity and is only conscious of his loving relationship with his friends in this Sakhya Bhav Leela. Tomorrow we'll be looking at a Vatsalya Bhav Leela, which is considered actually one step above the Sakhya Bhav Leela. So today we got some insight into the inner workings of these Leelas, how they happen, why they're important, and how they can be implemented or used by us in our devotional practice. But we just scratched the surface on all of these topics. So tomorrow we'll go in much more depth on all of these topics, and we'll also get to hear about a Leela between Shri Krishna and Mother Yashoda. In the Vatsalya Bhav Leelas, we get to see the beautiful interaction between Shri Krishna and his mother, Yashoda Maiya. So let us sing these final couple lines of this Leela today. Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Gocharat Gopal Gwal Sang
Hasani Sakhani Suni Ashanani Jilakhi
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 Bhajo Rudat Tatkal Gwal Sang
Bhajudat Tatkal Gwal Sang
Bhajo Rudat Tatkal Gwal Sang
Bhajudat Tatkal Gwal Sang
इमी कृपालु तेहि ग्वाल रुआवत
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 अमित काल जेहि गाल ग्वाल संग
अमित काल जेहि गाल गाल संग
अमित काल जेहि गाल ग्वाल संग
अमित काल जेहि गाल लाल संग
अमित काल जेहि गाल ग्वाल संग
अमित काल जेहि गाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल 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 ग्वाल संग
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 गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग
गोचारत गोपाल ग्वाल संग।
बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की
जय।
बाल गोपाल की
जय।
जगद्गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की
जय।
जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे।
राधे राधे।